Here by Alex Palou, winner of today's race. But it is a huge day, obviously, for Arrow McLaren and the Chevrolet, with Pato Award finishing second, driving the number 5 Arrow McLaren Chevrolet. Alexander Rossi finishing third in the number 7 Arrow McLaren Chevrolet for Pato. Third runner-up finish here of 2023, 16th career podium. He now trails Alex Palou by just 6 points, heading to something called the Indianapolis 500 here in a couple months, or a couple weeks rather. And Alexander Rossi obviously led 3 laps today, first podium of the season, 29th career podium. Pato, will begin with you. Just your thoughts about coming home second, another podium here in 2023.
Super stoked for the team. I mean, we put 3 cars in the top 5.
Yeah.
It's freaking hard to do in this series, just with how competitive it is. So yeah, just stoked for everybody in the organization, for our 5 crew. We did. We made our strategy really work, right? I just think today Palau and Ganassi were very strong. So we couldn't quite get them there in the end, but. Historically, this hasn't been the best of tracks for us. So this is awesome to see, just a massive step forward that we've taken in race pace here. So super happy to see that, and yeah, just rolling with some great momentum into our Super Bowl.
Yep, for sure. And Alexander, obviously, congratulations. You've been chomping at the bit, waiting for a moment like this with the new team, for you anyway, and you got it done, certainly at what we like to consider the world's greatest race course.
Yeah, absolutely. Echoing what Pato said, to get 3 cars in the top 5 is near on impossible these days. So, Arrow McLaren has done a phenomenal job all year. You can't talk enough about how challenging it is to add a car in the off season, and they've done it with relative apparent ease. There's a lot of work behind the scenes, but I'm really proud to get the first podium for the team, and the first one as a part of Team Chevy. And it was a good day. We've had a really strong pace on Sundays. We just haven't gotten the results that we feel like we deserve, and we're missing a little bit on Saturdays. But the pieces are coming together, and I've got an awesome team and awesome teammates around me.
We appreciate everyone that has joined us on Zoom. We'll get to your questions here momentarily. We'll begin, though, with questions in person. There's a standing microphone located to your left, and we'll begin with Nate Ryan from NBC. Nate.
Pato, I think Palou was the only one of the top 7 to start on reds. Obviously, were you in the top 7?
Yeah, I started 10th. You're right.
Yeah. So, and obviously, Alex made a lot of hay on reds, and so did Palou. Any second thoughts there on maybe starting on the alternate now?
No, I was happy with my strategy. I just think right when we were, I believe it was second to last stint, I just blew too much push to pass. I did, and I could have used some more to keep Palau behind us, which I think we might have been able to do, but. Yeah, you got to pick your battles. And I was like, you know what? Right now at this point of the stage of the race, I think that was the defining moment of the race, because a yellow never came out. But if a yellow did come out, I would have been in very big trouble. So I just played it safe and chose my battles, cautiously, and super happy and content with the solid points that we got today.
When he wins by 13 seconds, is it sort of like, doesn't really matter what strategy, or just kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the track position is so much here, and I took longer to get by Lundgaard than what Alex did, and then I got stuck behind other guys a little bit longer than where he kind of made up the time, and then when I got out of the pits. I was held up by some lappers, so that all just adds up to the amount of time that you just keep losing, especially in those crucial in and out laps. But yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to look into it and see what we could have done better. But I think it was a job really well done by not just our car, but all 3 Arrow McLarens.
Yeah,
top 5s.
Obviously, Alex, a tremendous start for Arrow McLaren, but I think you said that you're just looking to extract a little bit more performance. Is that qualifying? Is it just you just need to be a little better on qualifying to be better in the racing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very different car than I'm used to, and I just haven't quite found my happy spot for like the ultimate lap. It's close. It seems like permanently qualifying 10th, 11th, or 12th. You know, it's not a disaster, but we're certainly much better in race pace, or have been so far this year. So, yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world. We'll get there. You know, it's just still, it's competitive, and you can't be missing a tenth of a second, and really ultimately that's what we're missing. So we'll keep our heads down. You know, it's a bit of a shift now for the next 2 weeks, and yeah, really looking forward to getting started on the oval.
Yeah, can you guys, I mean, Pato kind of addressed it, like the momentum. I know it's sort of a nebulous thing because it's the oval, it's a totally different race, but can you both address like the confidence, the momentum you come out of this with as the team?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think confidence comes with, you know, with how, and that, I guess that where I'm getting at is it's a different beast, right? Indy's just, it's different. We're not really going to know what we've got up until, you know, we put all the fast bits on the car and we see where we stack up. Obviously, last year the Ganassi's were the definite benchmark. So they're the ones that we're chasing. And, you know, we've been putting so much hard work. I know the engineers have, you know, spent endless hours of, you know, of just time in all the different ways that we can find lap time for Indy, and I'm just so excited to see what we can do. We've continuously put ourselves into good positions there the past few years, and I think, you know, I can do it again for all of us at the 5 stand, and hopefully we get that opportunity and go that one more step that we want to do.
Chris?
Do you have any thoughts?
Oh, sorry.
I forgot. Well,
Confidence, momentum, the Indy 500.
oh yeah, man. I mean, this is a momentum game. We talk about it a lot, and I don't think that performance here obviously doesn't translate the other direction, but it's good mentally for everyone. You know that you've got the ability to have the results across all 3 cars, and it's just when everyone is relaxed and just doing what they know how to do, and the confidence in their abilities is when the performance comes.
Okay, Chris.
Is there a greater feeling of pride in that there's 3 Air McLaren cars in the top 5, or is the feeling more frustration that it's none of them in the top 7 of the podium?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to win these races. You know, I think that the 10 car was just strong. And, you know, a strong car will really make any strategy look good. I don't think that we would do anything different if we had to do it again. And, yeah, I think it's all pride in the fact that it's 3 cars in the top 5. Obviously, for Pato, it's probably frustrating. I've been in that boat before, and you just got to enjoy the seconds because it's what counts towards the end.
Pato, do you enjoy the seconds, as Rossi said you probably should?
Man, I'm flowing. I know my wins will come. I'm chilling.
Thanks. Nathan.
Alex, I know it had been a tough couple years at the end of your stint there with Andretti. When you ultimately come away with 3rd, you're a little frustrated. Is this kind of the type of day that you were hoping for in a fresh start with a new team?
I was actually talking to a friend about it this morning, and I was like, you know, our frustration in the fact that we're qualifying 10th, that's a good sign. You know, there's still so much potential in the whole group. It's not just my car. You know, there's things that we know that we need to improve. It's very clear objectives that we need to improve upon. And when we unlock it all, it's going to be a really cool thing for 3 papaya cars out there.
What have you seen? I know a lot's been made about it. The way that this team has been able to add so many personnel, add a full-time program, do something that we have seen some teams struggle with here in the last couple of years, and do it rather seamlessly. I know you had some bumps in the road, some ups and downs in these first 3 or 4 races, but I don't think anyone had found their way to a podium as quick as you had in a brand new program.
Yeah, I mean, it's a testament to every single individual there, to management, to Gavin, to Brian, to all the engineers. It's a very hard task. You know, some of the people on my car in particular. Had never seen an IndyCar before. And just the improvement and development every single time I show up at a racetrack is very impressive. So we just got to keep pushing along, keep addressing our weaknesses, and like I said, it's going to be a cool ride for everyone.
Pato, I know I can tell you're pretty comfortable with 3 second-place finishes and 5 races here so far. At what point will it get frustrating if that win doesn't come along? Is it past May? Like, when do you see this starting to be a little frustrating, if you know?
It won't. I mean, honestly, if we're second for the rest of the season, we're chilling. So it's they will fall. Is it going to fall the next one? Is it going to fall in 2, 3, 4, 5? Who knows? Is it going to fall until next year? But you never know. But what I sure know that what we've been doing is we've been knocking on the door every single weekend. Like, there hasn't been one weekend where we're like, we're lost. No. And there's been some weekends where we haven't started off that strong. We make changes and we're right there. So I'm just really enjoying it. We're growing massively as a team, and we get to work with some pretty cool people. And I mean, I know Zach is having a total fan moment right now over there. Then I know he's pumped to get to the 500. There's been so much, going into not just that race, but for all 3 cars, right? For all 4 cars for the 500, but all 3 cars for a full season. And we just got to keep doing what we're doing.
One more for both of you guys. It seems like when Alex Palou, I know he's not here yet, but when he has a good day, he, like we saw at Laguna, can run away from the field, which is, I know, very hard to do in this series. From what you guys know about him as a person, as a driver, some of his strengths, what do you feel like it is about him that when he's on in this series, despite how close things are, he could be a almost impossible guy to beat?
Impossible to beat, I don't agree. But he's strong. He's in one of the best teams, arguably the best in the past few years. So we're pushing, and we're right there. We're not far off, and I know we're going to find it, so I'm not worried.
Thanks.
Bruce.
Alex, I know you were a big believer in Brian Barnhart when you worked with him over at your previous team, but it looked like you two had kind of a happy chat there on pit lane. What was it like to be able to, get a performance like this now that you and Brian are with Arrow McLaren?
Yeah, I mean, Brian is. I had nothing. I can't say enough good things about what he does, and the position that he's in now at the team in terms of, a management role, not just being a strategy guy. He's instrumental in the success that this team has had to start the year. And, I'm very fortunate to have him on my car. I was fortunate to have him last year, and to be able to continue the relationship in new colors is a very cool thing for both of us. And
also for Pato, you were able to get Alex earlier during the offseason as a teammate. How quick did it take for the 3 of you to really mesh and become, a pretty good trio?
Honestly, it didn't take much time. I mean, he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you needed a change, and I really think he's fit in very well. I think he's really embraced on how we work as a team. I think it's extremely different to a lot of the other teams on the grid. And it's not just like, Alex. I feel like with his team, I just feel like all of us are working really hard to ultimately have the best 3 cars on the grid.
Obviously joined by today's winner as well, Alex Palou. I keep calling you Alexander for some reason. I don't know. Alex Palou, driver the number 10 American Legion Chip Ganassi Racing Honda, who led 52 of the 85 laps. First win here for 2023. Second podium of the year. 5th career win. 17th career podium as well. Just your general thoughts. You've had a really nice season, and this validates a little bit about the hard work that this team has had this year.
Absolutely. We knew we had a fast car, honestly, since practice. Since we were all off the trailers, the car was really, really good. I was comfortable. We missed a little bit on pole yesterday, but we knew we had a fast car. Also in the warm-up, we found that we were struggling a little bit more than others on the alternate tires. So that's why we went on red, black, black, black at the end to try and get the best from what we had, and it worked. So yeah, perfect day for the 10 car.
And just though that opening lap kind of made a statement, getting around, taking the lead, and going from there. How big was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that with the alternate tires, it was a lot easier to get temperature in.
Yeah.
And I knew it was only for the first couple of laps. Otherwise, it would have been tough to pass. So had to go for it. It worked. So yeah, happy.
Questions for all three. If you have a follow-up, though, if we can get those out of the way for Pato or Alexander, that'd be great.
Yeah, just a quick one for Pato. You've got an Indy 500 winner on your team. You add another Indy 500 winner to the lineup on Tuesday. What's that going to do for the team dynamic, and how much is having an extra somebody with that much experience and that much success here? How much is it going to mean to you guys?
No, I mean, obviously there's so much, so much that you can tap into and just kind of just chat with them on certain scenarios, right? But the Indy is a different beast in its own, where I feel like a lot of, in my experience, I've always been on my island. We've had Montoya, we've had Alonso, and everybody usually just goes with what they're comfortable with. If you keep chasing something that that maybe your teammate likes, you need to find what works for you. Because when you find what works for you, that's how you are going to put yourself in positions to win the race. You're not going to get there by trying to chase someone else's setup and just trying to hope that you can drive it the same way. Everybody drives differently, so I think it's just all about maximizing what you need from your car, and trying to help the whole team while you're doing that, right? But a lot of the times my teammates never liked my car. Montoya was on the other stratosphere of setups, and it doesn't mean just one's better than the other. No, we just drive very differently, and when you're going 230, 40 miles an hour, you need something that you're comfortable with.
One more, we'll cut you guys loose. Joey?
Question for Pato. This Arrow McLaren was already knocking on the door with you the last few years, but since Gavin's come in, since y'all kind of expanded, this team feels like it's right on the threshold of breaking that glass ceiling. I mean, what is it with Gavin since he's come in that's kind of raised y'all's profile quite a bit?
I think his approach. He has a very human approach to everything, and I can say he's not only helped the team, but I have improved outside of the race car because of Gavin, in just kind of having a different set of eyes that looks at certain things in a different way. And at the end of the day, this is all a human sport. None of us are robots. We're all the ones that we're putting in the work, and that's what it takes. But sometimes, it's important to know that we all need some rest and recharge. Sometimes you can't always go full on. But what you need is to make sure that you're in that position to do it when it counts, right? So yeah, just hats off to everybody that works so hard in the off season. I mean, I know there's countless guys and gals in the team that spend many hours in the off season to find more lap time.
No.
Well, heck of a way to start the month for Arrow McLaren. We'll go ahead and cut you guys loose. Alexander Rossi and Pato Award. We'll continue our questions for El Campeón today, and of course the 2021 NTT INDYCAR Series champion and Alexander Rossi. Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, Alex.
Or Alex Palou.
Fifth win,
It's
obviously,
like the
but
fourth time I've done that.
fifth win, obviously. First one here. How special is it to win at Indianapolis, and does it feel any different today compared to the previous four, the tracks that you won at?
Yeah, I mean, every win is special, honestly, but we've been close here. We had a little bit of bad luck. I know in 21 we had a failure when we were going for to fight for the win at the end, and it was the first race that everything came perfectly, strategy, the tires, and the speed of the car, and myself, obviously. So super proud. It's a special place. You can feel that in the garages with the fans that we had already since practice one. There's something about this place, obviously, and even if it's not the big one, it's still special. So super proud of the first win of the season, first win with the American Legion as well, and first win at the AMS. So couldn't be better.
Go ahead.
Congratulations on the win, Alex.
Thank you.
Now, I want to take you back to the opening lap when you were battling Christian and that charge at the start. Knowing that Lundgaard was consistently quick all week, how vital was it to get that lead up front, knowing that he had the softer compounds?
Yeah, we knew starting on the alternates, we needed to go hard and go and try and get the lead as fast as possible because I think the alternates had like 2-3 laps that they were a lot better, but afterwards you kind of got stuck behind. So I tried in turn one. He went really aggressive. I think that could have been, it was right, it was perfect what he did, but yeah, I wanted to beat something easier, but we were able to get it on the last corner, so yeah, that was good.
Y esa pregunta es en español. ¿Qué confianza es ganando ese Gran Premio, entrando en las 500 millas para quizás que vas por una posición mejor que en 2 años pasados?
La verdad que muy contento. Creo que esta temporada hemos estado cerca en muchas carreras, pero nos faltaba la victoria, así que contento de conseguirla aquí, de conseguir el liderato del campeonato y ahora que estaremos durante 3 semanas en el circuito trabajando con los coches, creo que la motivación extra que nos da esta victoria, no solo a mí, sino a todo el equipo que está aquí trabajando y todo el equipo que está en la fábrica, pues va a ser increíble.
Go ahead, Chris.
Alex, during the race, the call came over the radio. Do you want to have used blacks at the end or new blacks at the end? You figure we're going to have used blacks and then save the new ones for the end. But did you have new ones at the end or used ones?
Yes, I did new alternates, new blacks, used blacks, new blacks.
So what was the main benefit of having the new ones at the end? That you saw, like what made you decide you wanted to have the new ones at the very end?
Just in case there was like a yellow and everybody would start to go aggressive. I think already if you're on blacks, you're already in danger. But if you're on used blacks, you're done. So that was why I knew we had also cleaner on the third run. So that was why it was a good time to put the used blacks on, which worked really well. We were able to overtake Pato. We were able to overtake Lundgaard and get like a 5-second lead, but last 5 laps I was losing a lot of pace compared to the other guys. So yeah, everything worked out.
And any added momentum that you feel, given that you now have the points lead going to the 500?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I've always said that we had a good season so far, but we didn't really have a clean day, and today was the first clean day. The speed was amazing, strategy, pit stops, everything went really smooth. And yeah, we're not going to stop here. We're going to try and keep the championship lead until the end of the championship and hopefully get a second one. But yeah, thinking about today only. And then when it comes to on Monday, we'll start thinking about the big one.
Fun one here. Are you going to celebrate tonight with chicken, and where are you going to go if you do?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know yet. I have to talk. I have some family here, so we'll see where we go, what we do, but for sure we're going to celebrate.
Congrats again.
Thank you.
And you're still the only driver this season that's finished every lap here in 2023.
Great.
So another good sign of how good
Perfect.
the season's going.
Do we get a bonus for that?
Fried chicken, maybe. I don't know, but we'll see. Iron skillet.
Iron
it's
skillet.
Old school
It's a bit too
Indianapolis.
far from here, right? Oh, is it?
They do have good.
Okay.
They do have good fried chicken. All right. Nathan, save us, please.
Alex, we haven't seen too many drivers manage runaway wins in this last season or two, and you've done it twice now with wins of, 30 seconds and almost 17 today. When you have days like this that are so on, what does that feel like inside the cockpit when you realize how big of a gap you have by the checkered flag?
Amazing. I mean, everything goes so well. The car feels how you want it to feel. You don't have to, even though we had a lot of traffic by lap cars at the end on the last end. But yeah, we didn't have too much, so we could run our pace. I think once you have your day that you're comfortable with the car, it's doable to do, but obviously those days don't come too often here in IndyCar. It's so tight. It's with like 3-4 pit stops. It's tough to do so, but yeah, glad that we made it today. A win is the same if you do it by 30 seconds or by 1/10. So obviously feels better for myself, for the confidence. But yeah, a win is a win.
I know it's not the one that you want to win ultimately, but having come so close to winning here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway 2 years ago up against Elio in the 500, does winning here mean something more than winning at another racetrack, or does it still feel like because it's not the 500, it's still not quite what you're looking for?
Yes and no. I mean, I wanted to win at the IMS because it's a special place, but it's not like I'm like relax and I want to win the big one. We've been close. I know that being close is not enough. There's been drivers trying for years and years, and it's a tough race to do. 200 laps, 5 pit stops. So you need to have a perfect day there. So we'll keep working. We'll keep digging. Hopefully it comes, and yeah, it's the big one that I'm waiting for. Obviously, without forgetting about the other ones. This means a lot today, and I'm only focused on the GMR GP today. But yeah, when it comes on Monday, Tuesday, I'll be thinking only on the Indy 500.
And last question. A day like today, so incredibly dominant. Get 3 guys from Aero McLaren there in the top 5, good ways behind you. Does a day like today have you thinking any more about what your plans for next year might be?
Absolutely not. It's
Thanks.
too early. It's May. Come on.
Nate.
It's never too early to ask about the future.
I know.
So you said once we knew we were starting on reds, we were going to fight for a win. That's what you told Marty out there, Alex.
Yes.
You were the only one of the top 7, though, to start on reds. Did it surprise you that more guys didn't try that strategy?
It did. It did. For us, it was clear. We were struggling a little bit more than some of the guys on used reds in the warm-up, but still, it's not like they were amazing. So we knew that we didn't want to use reds. That's why we started on new alternates, try and get the lead, try and get a big gap, like 2, 3, 4 seconds, and then just work on our pace on black. So once I saw the starting grid with the tires, we were like, okay, we are in a good place. But still, you have to do it. If you get stuck behind Lundgaard on reds, you're done. Your race is over because you'll have more tire deck. You're not going to get the benefit of jumping like 4 seconds, and then you're always stuck in traffic on the same strategy as his. So, yeah, we knew we were on the right strategy for the 10 car, but you still had to do it on track.
So it was a little bit of a gamble, it was a little bit of aggressive move, but maybe less so when you saw the other cars around you were going to be on blacks and not reds, I guess, right?
Well, we were going to do a bigger gamble before warm-up, which was starting on used reds. Like that, we knew that since practice, honestly, that we wanted to start on reds. I was surprised that not other people at the front started on reds. But it worked for us, so yeah.
I think I heard you say out there that you feel like the last 2 years you had the car that could have won the Indy 500.
Absolutely.
So you feel like if you could go back, I know last year you had the fuel thing, and 21 it was only your second Indy 500. If you go back and run those races now clean, you feel like you could have won both of those?
Not 21 because I didn't have the experience, honestly. Like I did the best I could, but last year, yeah, absolutely. My car was super fast. We went from the lead when we had that. It's not that we were dropping. We were on the lead, managing the fuel. We went 1 lap longer than the guys around us. That's why we got on a bad position. So I'm not worried about the speed of the 10 car and at the IMS, honestly. I'm just worried about the day that we're going to have ahead of us. We've been really strong at the open test. I feel more confident running here at the ovals. But as I said, you need the perfect day. Like just having a good day, it's not enough here.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Tim.
Alex, number one, where did you feel like you had an advantage today? What part of the track or whatever did you feel like, you know what I mean? I know it's hard to watch a whole race from your vantage point, but where did you feel like you were getting through and it was paying off? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. We had more speed, I would say, on the sector 2, turn 7, 8, 9, 10 on the blacks. On the reds, I was still struggling compared to them there. But yeah, we were really good there. I think we would made 10th and a half, 2 tenths, and then we were pretty close on the other areas, which it's normally like that. Like it's tough to do a big difference in turn 1. Everybody breaks at the same spot, and being such a slow speed corner, everybody does the same driving line. So yeah, 7, 8, 9 was the biggest difference.
And your closest call today was where? What point in the race did you, maybe we didn't get to see it or something, did you have a close call?
I would say turn 1 at the start. I was a bit conscious that Lundgaard could have gone aggressive there, because otherwise, if I would have closed the door, we would have touched a little bit. He did nothing wrong, like he did everything right. But yeah, I would say that was the only area.
And now that you're an Indy 500 veteran, so to speak, does it seem
Mm-hmm.
like the race is going to be in 3 days? Does it seem like it's going to be in 3 months as you sit here right now? You know what I mean? Does it seem like it gets here quicker than you think? I mean, explain what goes through your head over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming really fast, faster than I thought. But honestly, until now, I was only focused on the GMR Grand Prix. I just wanted to do the best we could here. Tomorrow we will rest, and then on Monday we'll go back to work. And honestly, with how the schedule is, it looks like we have a lot of track time, but we actually don't have as much as the engineers think, because they want you to try amazing list of setup stuff to try and get the best car. But yeah, honestly, we just try and do small work each day, try and get our targets, and then race day suddenly is there. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. We have time for one Zoom, and let's go to Jack Binion from the race. Jack, go ahead, sir.
Hey Alex, at the end of the race you said your 2022 win at Laguna Seca came too late. I guess my question would be, do you feel like it's absolutely vital in IndyCar at the moment that you need to win a race in the first half of the year to have that momentum for the championship push?
Yeah, it always helps. Honestly, last year we were really good to start. I think we had 4 podiums on the first 5 races, or 3 podiums on the first 4, which was pretty impressive. But a win here gives you a lot on confidence and on points, and you need those wins when you have the car. When you don't have the day yourself, or the car, or the strategy, or the luck, or whatever, you need to score as much as possible. But when the car is there, you need to maximize and execute, and we did today.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack. We'll go ahead and wrap it up for now. Stand by. We got some other stuff for you, but congratulations. What a great way to start this month of May in 2023. Alex Palou.
Alex.
Alex Palou. I knew I was going to. You're going to get me on that. Here we go. Indy 500 comes up next. Practice begins bright and early Tuesday morning.